Set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosazon to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
Browns take over 1st and 10. At their own 20.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to...
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A final shot before half for Wentz. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
24-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
At the 39-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got an open man. It's Ruggs. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Henry Ruggs with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And the touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? That's you created with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosazon to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throwing out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here, and sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
The ball carrier.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
Carson Wentz sacked. A loss of,
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. going to go down again. Montez Sweat in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Fielded just inside the 30. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Chiefs offense set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. It's Perriman. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
We're back now in KC. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards it.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Henry Ruggs with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard
The
line.
Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And it's right about this time of the year that you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
It certainly is, because we all know everyone is aiming for that #1 seed. But failing that, because only 2 teams in the NFL get a bye, 1 from each conference, that question becomes who's hot? Who's peaking at the right time as you start the playoffs?
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. In that play, it wound up losing yardage.
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Nick Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them.
Now a hit and a loose football. The dive unsuccessful. The big fella can't pick it up.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game, and we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning out to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. Catch made by Slayton. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there, because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good trust between quarterback and receiver. Really good completion.
That's complete. Middle of the field to Humphreys. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
What's your son? 56, the mark, boys. 56. Check 56.
Throwing again on second down. Wentz. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Wentz to throw again. And that is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. And it is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on fourth down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. Well, you feel the excitement build on those fourth down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on fourth down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on fourth down. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Continuing to keep their foot on the gas, and it looks like they're just having fun out there. They're loose, they're free, and they're enjoying what the scoreboard looks like.
I'd have to say I agree with you totally. They're having a blast out there all game long. When they throw the football, they're picking up nice chunks of real estate, significant yardage on just about every throw that they make. And there's another one there, and they continue to have that fun that you just talked about.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Eluding the pressure right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
The end result, 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
For the field goal, a 25-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. But in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
KC's offense ready to take over. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Henry Ruggs, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Xavier Howard on the coverage.
Gordon. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Number 25.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Push him back. Push him back.
Looking to throw. Reception here by Ruggs. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. That is caught inside the 5. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Today's final score.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Kansas City, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Where the blood thinner, juice stay turned like, I've been through that water like